I want to preface by saying you shouldn't ever really stop cold outreach. I want to start again, not necessarily cold calls because we just don't have time. But cold emails, I absolutely 100%, definitely 100,000 million% want to start again. Welcome to the session, my workshop. I've just bought a whiteboard. I've got a pointer. My IQ has now increased by 40 points because I've got a pointer and I've got all these bollocks. Anyway, what we're talking about today is how to stop cold calling. As you can see at the top, hopefully you can see all that other stuff. Fingers crossed. I'm only using this side of the whiteboard because I actually should have used the other side of the whiteboard, so I'm going to stick to this side. Now let me preface by saying one thing. I'm going to be speaking from my experiences with my agency and how we have scaled to a point where we do have 21 concurrent clients. So that's just my experience. So I'm speaking from myself, I'm speaking from what we have, what we've done, just what we are able to achieve, because I don't want to do guru talk. I'll stick around, maybe take some notes, but I know it sounds corny, but if I can literally get to myself to a point where I have 21 concurrent clients, all of you guys can too. First of all, I'm going to tell you how to stop cold outreach. You've got to fix your retention and your inbound. Then we can get to inbound, which is a lot of people's goal, is to get to inbound. Hopefully you can see it. When I am talking about cold outreach, we're talking about predominantly email and calls. So we did a lot more of cold calling than cold email. We put a lot more time, resource, and effort into doing the cold calls. Did that pay off for us? Absolutely. So we would have sent over 1,000 emails. So we were using Instantly. I'll write all this down so you guys can take it. Instantly.ai is what I think it is. Cold calls, I use my phone. I'll run you through it. So we got our contacts list, we put it into Instantly, and we did the emails that we needed to do, and we got them sent. That's it. We had all these contacts in the one niche that we wanted to go after, and we got them just sent out. That's it, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. It was a pure volume game. So in terms of cold outreach, if you do want to get to stop it and actually sign clients and get to the ultimate dream of inbound, which I don't know why a lot of people want to do, I want to preface by saying you shouldn't ever really stop cold outreach. I want to start again, not necessarily cold calls because we just don't have time. But cold emails, I absolutely 100%, definitely 100,000 million% want to start again. The problem I see most people, and when people come to me asking questions, what is the problem with why can't I get clients? The number one problem I see is the sheer lack of volume. So emails, you want to if you send them by yourself, you want to send 10 a day? Like really? 10 a day? That is cold emails typically have a 2% response rate or something like that. If you send 10 a day, you will hopefully get 2 responses by 10 days, and guarantee the guy that's sending 10 cold emails a day isn't working on weekends. By the end of 2 full working weeks, you'll ideally have gotten 2 responses to those emails. And the guy that is sending the 10 emails a day definitely isn't doing cold calls as well. So there's just nothing needle move. I would say you should get yourself a contact list of at least 1,000 and get to sending at least 100 of them a day after your email's warmed up. So I'd send at least 100 a day. Now, we did a lot of cold calls, so I can speak on cold calls a little bit more than I can with cold email. We did a cold email, sure, whatever, but I was a bit removed from all that process, so I'm going to talk about the cold calls. Now, cold calls. All I used was my phone and a laptop. A lot of people ask, what's your tech stack for cold calling? Phone and a laptop, stacked them on top of each other. That's my tech stack. I used a phone, I have an iPhone, and I have a Mac. The MacBook and the iPhone, they all connect, and you can copy from your computer and paste on your phone. It's really easy. Have all your numbers in a sheet, just go through it, and you track it. So that's another thing I want to say, tracking. But we'll start from the beginning. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. What do we got to do? We got to get our contacts. 1, contacts. Ideally in a niche. 2, we gotta 3, we gotta track. Now, a lot of people, before they actually start cold calling, they want to figure out exactly what the sales process is from when they do have a successful cold call and when they do book the meeting. Don't overcomplicate it. Get the meeting first, then you can figure that out. Because actually, you know what? I'll figure it out for you. You get into a discovery call, you then make a proposal, then you run through the proposal. That's it, I'm on the case. Don't get them from a freaking cold call straight onto a sales call and then try and sell them. It'll never work. It will work, like it does work, and if you do it enough times, you will have a successful agency, but your freaking conversion rates will go up a billion times if you do go discovery, then go away, and then run them through it. Do that, promise you it'll work better. Contacts in a niche. So what do I actually mean by that? Ideally, you're calling a niche where you get phone and mobile numbers where you have direct access to the business owner. So you don't need to go through gatekeepers or 4 layers of staff, or you don't need to play whatever. Like you're just calling the direct business owner who can make the decision. Home service is usually easy. Home service sometimes isn't so good to deal with, but you know, they make a whole ton of money. So it's pretty easy for them to just say, yeah, go ahead, let's buy, right? For, so I don't know, say $1,000 product. So, and then you got to call, you just got to do the calling. I would try your best to get to a point where you're doing at least 50 a day as you're starting out. Ultimately, you want to get to about 100. Goal 100 plus calls a day. Now, really what I'm saying there is just volume. Just do volume. Now, third, we got tracking. In terms of tracking, what do I mean? How many calls did you do? How many answered? How many did you pitch? How many did you book? That's really all you got to do. Or you got called back or send me an email and do that, all sorts of things like that. Like you can track other stuff, but really what you want to do is how many did you dial? How many answered? How many did you pitch to? How many did you book? If you track, you can actually figure out exactly what's wrong and like what you need to fix. So if you're dialing 100 times and only 10 people answer, then you're in the wrong niche or you've got a crap phone. But if you then call 100 people, 60 answer, that's not too bad. Then you pitch, let's say, keep it clean. You pitch 50 and then only you get 1 book, or you get no books, or you get 3 booked meetings from 50 pitches. Come on, son. Then you obviously know that there's something wrong with the pitch. That's why you have to track. You know exactly which part of the process you actually need to fix instead of over engineering the stuff that you don't actually need to touch. That's tracking. So that's a little thing on on cold outreach. If you do want to get to this inbound and you want to do it really quickly, ideally pump cold outreach to get to a goal of 4 clients. Let's say they're all worth $1,000 each. $1,000 each on 4 clients, and that's going to take me into retention. Give me 1 second, let me clean my board. Now let's talk about retention. Retention is probably one of the most important things. So what actually is retention and how do you retain? Number 1, you need results. Then you got relationships, and then what the hell does that mean? It says, what does relationships and comms have to do with anything? And comms means communications, by the way, I'm just using slang. Relationships and communications. Relationships is the relationship that you have with your clients, and communications is the communication you have with your client. And results is the results that you get for your clients. These two, the relationships and the communications, are almost as important and almost even more important than the results. People will buy and people will continue to buy from people that they like. If they don't like you, but you get them cracking results, most human beings are not logical. They won't stay with you because you're not a nice guy. So keep them in the loop. What I find great is check in for relationships. Results, no, you know what? Let's do it in order here. So number 1, we got results. What does that mean? Deliver. So for results, that means deliver and ROI. So let's just say you're running Facebook ads. Obviously you have to do the service delivery, that's the deliver. I pay your business to increase my business ultimately, or to grow my business, and me paying you grows your business, right? It's all exchange, that's just business. That was just basic knowledge. Then we got relationships. What the hell does that actually mean? That ties into communications, but check in on them. It's not just about business. How are the kids? How is this? How is that? How's the holiday coming up? Is everything all right? Are we doing good? Are we doing this? Are we doing this? So the comms relationship are literally as hand in hand as anything can be. So comms and relationships are literally the most important thing. So what does that actually mean? Let's just put these together. Check in, keep in loop. Again, I don't want to repeat myself, but you check in, keep them in the loop, right? Check in. How's the family? How's the dog? How's the kids? Who cares? You don't care. He knows you don't care, but it's a personal touch that people actually appreciate. We've got keep them in the loop. So let's say you're doing the ads. We just built out the campaign. It looks like this. It's gonna do this. We're gearing it around what your goals are. So we listen, we care, we know what you want, and we're gonna deliver on that. So that's what that says. Then lastly, we got updates and reporting. A lot of people can get caught up in, oh, let me do some really freaky and cool and whatever reporting and have all this marketing jargon and whatever in it. You don't need that because they don't get it, and you probably don't get it because Claude or ChatGPT actually did that report for you. So screw that off. Most plain English reporting, the more plain English the recording is, the better. The reporting. So plain English, EILI5. Explain it like I5 is what, explain it like I'm 5 is what that means. Now, I'm going to talk to you about the economics of this retention thing, right? At the ultimate goal of inbound. Now, when we think about this properly, it's really what we're here to do. If you're good at your outbound, your cold outreach, what does that look like? Ideally, if you want to stop it as soon as possible, get yourself 4 clients. Four clients, $1,000 each. Retain them for 3 months minimum. You should have about $12,000. So at the ultimate goal of, it's here. That is going to help you a lot when you get to the ultimate goal, or getting to that ultimate goal of inbound. So hopefully I'm not blocking it too much. When dealing with inbound, when we are talking about inbound, it's going to be ads, obviously. $12,000 or retention, number one, that gives you proof of concept. That helps you be able to sell with conviction, because even though you have inbound leads, I'm going to go off the normal agency sales thing of, you're going to get on a sales call ultimately. But if you do have good retention and you do get good results and you do see all of the client success, that's going to help you sell with conviction because you really, 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 really believe in what you actually sell. So that is realistically just me highlighting the actual importance of retention. So if you do want to stop quickly, get 4 clients at the minimum value of $1,000 each, and 3 months minimum retention. Ideally, you'd be left with that unless you're like paying for, I don't know, some tech stack that you don't need. Let's say you probably have, I don't know, 12, instead of 12,000, maybe 11 grand, because that's ideally what you're gonna have at the end. So to summarize, all those things that I was talking to you about before, i.e. the relationship management, the communications, and ultimately retention as a whole, is really just gonna get you to a point where you have predictable income and you can sell with conviction, and you really have proof of concept, and you have client results now, and you have testimonials, and retention is like one of the best things.